Good morning. We're going to do a daily recap today, and mainly for the reason that the weekly recaps have been quite long. I've been sitting down and ranting for over an hour in the weekly recaps, and some of the setups aren't as fresh in my mind, so we're going to try and start doing some daily recaps here, maybe after I finish stream or on my lunch breaks when I can, or sometimes later in the evening. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do daily recaps on a consistent basis because of my job, but I'll try to get them done quickly, hopefully right after stream while I have everything still open and I can do them very fast. So we had one trade today on IPST at 8:12 a.m. right as it popped up. Ended up being a losing trade, but I think the trade was within my setups and it just ended up not working, which is unfortunate for the day. But it kind of just is what it is when we're following our strategy and our process. So IQST popped up at 8:11 a.m. and I wasn't watching it right here as it popped up. I had my chart set to a different ticker. So it popped without me there when I probably should have been watching it. And it did a pullback. It didn't take this first pullback since the 9 EMA was quite far away. And we've been having a lot of false breakouts recently. So I waited until it held up. And once it held up, I took an entry right here for this ABCD pattern at 8:12:47. So on the ABCD pattern, as it popped up through 750, I was thinking that it was going to retest high of day. And it didn't go right away, so I just held. Stop was about 730. Thinking that maybe we needed to do 1 minute pullback on a cup and handle on this chart here. But it pops up to 770 and then gets slammed back down in a false breakout. I get stopped out of the trade. I didn't take any profits at 770 because I thought that this had a good chance of retesting high of day. And there wasn't any exit indicators up until I saw that big, huge seller on the level 2 as it was coming back down. So I stopped out a little bit early, managed to get out with only a 14-cent loss on 100 shares, which wasn't bad. But if my stop is about 730 or so, then I was risking about 27 cents or 30 cents. So it would have been better if it were to squeeze back up to high of day to get a better profit to loss ratio. That's where I should be taking profit around 2R if I can, 1.5 to 2R. It just didn't end up doing that. And for the rest of the day was kind of false breakout central. I mean, the only setup that I think that I should have taken, which I didn't, was this ABCD pattern right here on the 1 minute chart. It kind of pulls back, makes a lower low. There's a little bit of lopsided ABCD, but this is still a good ABCD pattern to get in on with higher volume buying, lighter volume selling, as it pops through 756 and it popped all the way back up to 840. Unfortunately, I hesitated on that trade, didn't take it, not sure why. Otherwise, we'd be having a green day recap right now. Because I was patient for the rest of the day and I didn't take any more trades. IPST was the main thing we were watching for most of the day. But there were a lot of false breakouts on it, and I really didn't want to take any more chances with this stock, considering how many topping tails that we had, the choppy price action we've had in the past week or so. And at the open, it just kind of sold off. The other stock we had on watch this morning was IVF, since it was one of our other leading gainers. It did have a 7 a.m. pop, but then it did a big nasty rejection off of high of day at 311 back here. And I drew an ascending support line, but it didn't end up holding, and it kind of just sold off for the rest of the day. It popped up at the open and then did another nasty rejection. I think the writing is just on the wall today. I didn't stick around to take any more trades at the open, just taking the small $14 red day, which is really negligible. Since I am sizing up this week, it should be really easy to make back, as long as I continue following my process and I don't take any risky setups, I should wait for something fresh, wait for something that I have really high confidence in. And, 50 cents on 100 shares is $50. So very easy to make that back as long as we maintain discipline. So I'm not too worried about it. There wasn't really too much today. Very choppy day, very quiet day, other than the couple of top leading gainers that were chopping around. So I'll just show my trade on the VOD here. So I had UCL open and I was looking at my phone, wasn't really paying enough attention to what was going on. And I swapped my chart there as I noticed that IPST was popping up. So it already broke through without me and it was already up at the highs and was doing a pullback. So right around here, I saw that this was an ABCD pattern, higher volume buying, lighter volume selling. As it popped back up over 750, I took a position. Top is 730, about the low of the pullback, the closest pullback. We're forming, about to close on that 1 minute candle. So I thought maybe we would have a pop back up to 8. But it continued just chopping around sideways. And right here, I thought that this would be a bull flag pattern. So I continued holding, thinking that, maybe this would be a nice pattern. Pops up to 770 and then gets slammed back down. And I saw those big sellers and I decided to just get out of the position. $17 or $14 loss. That's all for my recap for today. We're going to keep these short so that it doesn't take up too much of my time or your time. And I'll reserve the talking about P&L and the challenges for the week and the expectations for the week ahead for the weekly recaps on Saturdays, hopefully. So that's going to be the plan for now. Thanks to everyone that stopped by stream today. And I'll be back at it again tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, as per usual. Until then, take care, stay green, and I'll see you next time.